Yeah, of the whole of South Africa, millions of people dreamed, Bafana Bafana have engineered the dream into reality. I'm not alone. I'm with Coach Tholo to help me analyze this game and unpack it for you. I was with him yesterday. He gave his prediction, a prediction which came to life. Coach Tholo matatagasing coach Ben. That's a prophet. Coach Tholo, greetings, coach. Good evening, coach. Your thoughts of the game. Bafana Bafana are due to the FIFA World Cup, coach. 2026 automatic qualification. What's your take on that?
First of all, I would like to greet the viewers and everyone that is watching and everyone that is supporting. Guys, please follow us and don't forget to subscribe. Mbombela fanatic. First of all, I would like to thank the man above.
Yeah.
If it wasn't of him, this would have not happened. I did say yesterday that no one can come out of Mbombela.
Yes.
One.
Yes.
If you look at the game before it starts, we talk about heat, and of which Rwanda couldn't adapt.
Yes.
And remember, South Africa, we can play in Limpopo, we can play in Durban, we play in Cape Town. So it's easy for us to adapt in any kind of weather situation.
Yes.
And then let's give credit to Coach Hugo Bruce and the whole technical team, and the boys. Not to forget the 12 men.
Yeah.
You understand? Not to forget the 12 men, because for us being here and supporting the boys, it was easy for us. And remember, when Nigeria scored first, they made things easy for us. Yes. And I did say yesterday that Nigeria is going to win and we are going to score 3 goals. Yes. And it did happen. And once again, let's break it out. I did say the last time when we were winning, we were using Mamelodi Sundowns players. So it was easy for us to play. Now, if you can check, the dominating team, it's Orlando Pirates in our league. Yes. And even in the national team, Orlando Pirates, they're the one who are dominating. So it just made things easy for us.
Coach, let's walk through the starting lineup, coach. Ron Williams was between the poles for South Africa. We had Opi Mutiba, we had Undamani, we had Rufbisi, we also had Umuta on the right hand flank, we had Mkatini. Coach brought in Utabuko Mukwena. He also brought in Umbata. Also brought in in the front to Sipombule. On the right hand side there was Murena. Left there was Apolis. Up front there was Mahopa. 3 changes from the previous starting lineup. Wincourt not starting the game. Murena starting. That forced substitute, those 2 forceful substitutes which were forced to be made. We had Mahopa starting in the game up front. We also had in the place of Mbogazi, the suspended Mbogazi, Kulman Indaman and Pumalanga's very own TS Galaxy centre back started in this game, coach. The performance, walk me through those 3 changes, coach.
Remember, as a coach, you must understand that in the modern football, we look at how things are happening. I did highlight it that whoever that is going to come in the place of Mbogazi must be psychologically ready. You understand? So I think Ndamane, the hometown, he's used to playing in Mbombela.
Yes.
And as young as he is, he understands the pressure that comes with this game. And he's a left centre back.
Yes.
You understand? Now, for us to use the right centre back, it was going to be a disadvantage for us. But our coach trusted the young Ndamane, because he did even play him in one of the 2 previous games where he played with Mbogazi. He played with 2 left-footed centre back. So coming to Mkwena, I did mention yesterday that the game will change a little bit, because we're gonna have Mudau coming inside to invert when Mrena drift in the line or when he goes wide. So the game plan was for us to pack in the middle so that we can play, so that we can make overload the middle, so that we can make the Master Chef play as well. So today we saw a different Master Chef, you understand? So that's what we want. Everyone that is given a chance and comes in and make sure that I deserve to be in the national team. I did mention Evidence Mahopa.
Yes.
The experience in him.
Yes.
You saw that he understood what the coach wants to him. He stay there and then he holds the ball, then he plays the ball back, take those run, because when we shift, the defenders follows him, then he allows Murena, Onkota and Apolis to play.
Coach, let's look at the dynamic of the game as to how it unfolded. What is that which is different, which allowed for us to play in today's game, which was offered by Mahopa, that was different from what is offered by Lyle Foster into difference of the game, respectfully saying?
I did mention earlier that what is going to make us to make the game easier is for us to score first. You understand? Now the game plan today, it was simple. It was for us just to hold the ball and allow Rwanda to come to us. If you can check, after us scoring the first goal, we changed a little bit. We killed the tempo of the game, and then we waited for them to come to us. And the advantage about it, once we saw that Nigeria has also scored the second game, then we started playing, and we had more chances. We created, and then we pushed forward, and we used Mahopa in the right way. Because remember, if you can check the first half, he was not involved too much in the ball.
Yes.
You understand? So the game plan was for him just to stay there, and then we'll use Apolise. Remember, when Apolise comes in to invert, and then Mudiba goes high, and even in the side of Mudiba, in the side of Mudau,
yes,
and Murena. When Murena goes out, Mudau comes in.
Yes.
When Mudau goes out wide, and then Murena comes in. Remember, the game plan was around Sipombule, because most of the balls were giving Sipombule
combination,
and there was a bit struggling of Mbata. But after getting that goal, then he comes back. If you saw well, even Coach Ogobus called him and tell him that you must hold the ball. You understand? Because the game plan is around them. And it goes back to what I said yesterday, that when Tebogo Mokoena plays as a CDM,
yes,
and Mbata will play as a number 8. When Mbata is playing as a CDM, Mokoena will play as a number 8. Then it allows Sipombule to go around and play that number 10 role and make things easy for us.
Coach, when we look at the structuring of that middle of the park, coach, we had Sipombule up front, in front of the two midfielders, Mokoena and Mbata standing together here. Coach, walk through that tactical decision that was made by Coach Hugo Bruce, that this midfield, this is how we're supposed to, because we saw in between of the game, Mbule was more up front, behind Mahopa. Then between Tebogo Mokoena and Mbata, one of the two midfielders would move up to support, and Tebogo Mokoena or Mbata between the two, so ever stay behind, in short stability. Coach, walk with me there to that from a tactical perspective.
I think what we need to check, Limpo, is how we approach the game.
Yes.
We played Rwanda at home. I think we drew 2-2, where Mbata came in and scored brilliant stunning goal.
Yeah.
Now, when we look at Rwanda, they want to play with width. And what we did today, we made sure that Apolise comes in, even Morena comes in, and then we pack in the middle of the park. Yeah. That's where we penetrate. That's where we use. Because even the first goal, it rotated and went wide, but it came in. When you look at where Apolise was positioning himself, he tried to put the ball to Mokoena, and then Mokoena saw that he doesn't have a chance to shoot. He gave the ball to Mbata. Mbata opened his groin and pushed the ball. And remember, he's got technique.
Yes.
And then he took a shot. So we understand that for us, in order for us to break them, we need to come here in the middle of the park, and we need to play. There's no way that we can play the ball wide and then put crosses. If you can check the whole game, we were penetrating in the half spaces. I did mention that the only way to break in Rwanda and get goals, we need to use the half spaces, and we were able to score today.
Coach, let's move a little bit backwards. The combination of Sibisi, the man just featuring like a glove. Coach, walk through with me to that, coach.
I think everyone understands their duties in the team.
Yes.
Whoever comes in, let me make a simple example. Spisi is not playing in his team. You have Mbogazi and Sesan, but CBC understand his duties in the national team. We had Ngezana, who was suspended. We had Mbogazi, who just got a red card.
Yes.
And then whoever that needs to come in, we needed the experience of CBC. He was there in the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
And the young boy and the man, he needed to grab the chance that he's been given with both hands. And so hence I said everyone that comes in the national team, they need to understand the duties that are being given. So everyone, because even if you can check the likes of him too, regardless of how many minutes he was given, but he showed the hunger that he's ready to get his first cap for the national team. So even the goalkeepers, the support that goes and Sipuchain are giving Ronan Williams, it shows that our team is united. We are ready to go to the World Cup, and we are ready to go to Africa Cup of Nations. Just to add in what we were saying yesterday, we remember yesterday Line Foster got injured. We called Cupido, and some people were complaining that Grobler has got 9 goals. Now remember what I said. We need to look at age average. Cupido is the future of the team. You understand? So we need to check those kind of things before we start talking about anything or judging the coach. And you saw he came in and he pushes well. You understand? So everyone, I said, everyone need to understand when they are called to the national team and what are their duties.
Coach, in terms of to look at the aspects of which was displayed by Bafana Bafana today, Coach, we've gained automatic qualification to the FIFA World Cup in 2026. Coach, in order for us to qualify, which aspects of our game do we need to elevate in order for us to, when we get there in 2026, to say we are going to be able to combine, we are going to be able to compete against other nations? What aspects of our game do you believe South Africa needs to work in? Coach, Mr. Hugo Bruce, in the space time is going to be getting, maybe a couple of experimentations that he needs to try and work with in the coming up tournaments that we're going to be playing in December.
I think it's fair. I just watched his interview and he said there's a long way to go. And when I check the friendlies that we're going to have, I think we do have a friendly with Brazil. And if we can get more, he did mention when he came here, when we play against France, and France beat us 5-0. He did mention that there's still a long way to go, but we do have quality players. And what I want to say or to mention to our national players, they need to understand, Limbo, that there is no one that has got a safe place in the national team. There's still a long way. Remember, we have Tembazwane, who was just here, and he just mentioned that she's going to the World Cup. We're just praying that he doesn't get injured. And then we've got Rile Mufukeng, and we've got Mbogazi, we've got Yongezane. So there's no one to save. Understand? We've got your Tito Masongai. So these guys need to perform and perform. You've got your Lodge, you've got your Mailula. He mentioned when he joined the team from Belgium that he's not going to add numbers there. So they are going to fight to go to the Africa Cup of Nations. They are going to fight to be part of the team that is going to the World Cup. So we will still need to work hard and try to get more competitive friendlies. And then I think we are not going to add numbers in the World Cup. And we have showed that. And even in the Africa Cup of Nations, we are not going to add numbers.
Coach, you speak correctly, Coach. Coach, when we look in terms of the way we play, is it a matter of now to saying we're going to be heading into the World Cup? From a coach's perspective, is it a matter of to saying, are we building for the future, or it's a matter of saying we want to go to the World Cup and compete against the best? Is it experience? Are we going to be carrying? Must South Africans expect to be bringing in experience, or must they expect to be bringing in a youthful squad, as of to seeing how explosive the youth has been into the national team of the Bafana Bafana?
I think, Limbo, we need to be fair. We have under 20 World Cup, of which we are participating, and we're going to be participating in the under 17, and we have COSAFA. I think those are the games where we should try to check the young ones. Understand? By the time we introduce them into the senior team, they must be ready. We've got the likes of Yamil Yamal. At his age, he's competing in the senior team. So even the young ones, they need to show up and say, we are ready. Like, let's check. Currently, there's no one who's giving Tebo Homukwene a competition. No matter how old he can get, but if there's no one that can say, I'm raising my hand and I'm ready to compete, then we don't have a choice. But Tebogo Morena needs to be called and called and called, and he needs to play. Because I was saying this when I was sitting with another supporter. That I said he's tired, but we need someone that can step in his shoes and make sure that he produces what Tebogo Mokoena is producing. So we've got so many competition where we can check the young ones. So whoever in the national team, now we need to understand, we are not calling just because for the sake of, we are saying, no, you need to go to the national team. We want soldiers. You understand? We want people who fight for the country.
Yes.
You understand? We want people who will make things happen. And these guys, they've showed that it was not a fluke for us to get a fourth place in the Africa Cup of Nations. They wanted it. Actually, third place.
Yes.
They wanted it. And they said that the next one, they want to win it. You understand? And they show a character. They never put their heads down after throwing against Zimbabwe. So they came here in Mbombela and make sure that we qualify. And they are ready for anyone. You can give us Argentina, we are ready. You can give us Spain, we are ready. We are not just a country. Cape Verde just surprised so many people. Yeah. And if you can look the whole of Africa, there are so many big teams, or there are so many so-called big teams who didn't qualify. Yeah. In the same group of Cape Verde, there is Morocco. Yeah. There, actually, no, I beg your pardon. There is, which is this team, Cameroon.
Yes.
So, Cape Verde surprised people in the group of Cameroon. They qualified. So, these are the things that is happening. Yeah. I said yesterday that in our local league, there's no longer so-called a big team. Yes. So even in the continent, we no longer have the so-called big African teams. Everyone deserves a chance. And Cape Verde just showed, and South Africa did show as well that, you know what, we are ready. But we also want to thank our neighbors, Nigeria. Yeah. They did a great job for us. And I wish them all the best in the playoff, because it's going to be boring to go to the World Cup without them. Because you can see even the youth under 20, they were there. In the Africa Cup of Nations, they are there. So I will go back to what I said about Morocco. There is a good structure that it's being built by Morocco, and we have learned from them, and we implemented it. We have the small competitions, even in both males and females. You're gonna see an improved South Africa going on.
Coach, to move to the continent, to the African continent at large, coach, how important is it, or from your analysis, from the teams that have currently qualified for the FIFA 2026 World Cup, when you look at them, coach, even though they're still not yet complete, but do you believe those teams or nations per se that have qualified currently are the right teams to say they might have qualified, but do you believe they are nations that will be able to fight when they get there and compete against the rest of the nations?
I will say this, and in a painful manner, we are taken, I don't know which words to use, but we are taken for granted as African teams. You understand? Now, what we need to understand, it didn't happen by fluke for those countries to qualify. Everyone fought, and they played so many games, and they made sure to qualify. So whoever that qualified deserves it to qualify. And we will fight as Africa. We've got so many competition. Let's go back and check. The teams that play COSAFA or the teams that play Chen, they qualify. So there are competitions that are making us limp already to compete. So those will continue those competitions, because they look them as zero competition, but we are gaining from those competition. Look at the teams that have qualified. Yeah. and check. And last in the Africa Cup of Nations, I think we are about 7 teams who have played COSAFA who have qualified for Africa Cup of Nations. Yeah. So we'll keep on playing those competitions. But I will say this with no doubt, everyone that is qualified, they deserve it.
Coach Tholo, thank you very much. Yeah, South Africans have dreamed. Bafana Bafana have given life to that dream. It's been 14 years, 9 months, 14 days, 13 days, and a couple of hours. And South Africa has turned on what was a dream for many. It's no longer a dream, but reality. 2026 can officially say Bafana Bafana will be on the greatest stages of them all in football, the FIFA Football World Cup. Bafana Bafana, thank you very much. For myself, your host, and Mbombela Fanatics, and Coach Tholo, thank you very much. It's a good night.
Thank you so much.